episode of the Dragon Slayer. Not feeling completely well and stuff, so I'm just doing this sitting in my living room on my floor. Oops. So I'm going to be doing two separate videos today, but I wanted to do one on the Super 7 reaction G.I. Joe figures, since it's been a long time since I've done a video on any of my G.I. Joe collections. Okay. But I just got three of the Wave 2 figures from Super 7 today, so I figured I'll show them to you. We'll open them up together and see what they're like. I'm glad that other companies have started to do the O-ring figures again, because that's what I've collected ever since 1982. And I like the idea that they're making some of the figures that are popular and some of the figures that were never made before. But I think Super 7 Reaction Plus is what they're called, because they're plus. They're not just the Star Wars 5 points of articulation. These are the 9, 10 points of articulation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 points of articulation. But I wish they would make, instead of remaking like figures we already have, like Snake Eyes. Okay, the Wave 1 cover girl was really cool. She was from the first comic, the first cartoon, which was cool. But did we really need another Serpentor or another Duke? Yes, he comes with his mind control thing from the first movie, from the first animated movie. Or another Snake Eyes, or another Cobra. Do we need more Cobra Commanders? Okay, Wave 3 Cobra Commander and his Arctic coat is gonna be cool, because that's not a Cobra Commander we've had before. But I mean, since Hasbro has given permission to Super 7 to do the figures, they should do the figures that have not been produced, or the figures that the comic books and the cartoons never even thought of doing. So I'm glad that they made the twins, Tomax and Xamot, in their suits. That's cool. That's what I wanted for a long time. Make Ramar, which is cool. Make the Fatal Fluffies, which I still need to get. I'm only missing that from Wave 1 and Fatal Fluffies from Wave 2. So, but I've got, except for those two, I have every one that's out there so far. But they can make like Candy Jones, Ripcord's girlfriend from the few comics where she was, and have her be dressed as the bear with the removable head. They can make her father Dr. Jones, the scientist. They can make Lady Lady Doomsday from the first issue of G.I. Joe. Let's see, who else? They can make, what's her name? The character from the second movie, from the second animated movie, the Revenge of Cobra, with where Roadblock is inside the truck, and the cowgirl. They can make her. They can make the woman that helped Snake Eyes and Shipwreck escape from Central City or Capital City. What, I forgot what it was. It's been a while since I watched the cartoon movies. Make her. They could also make Snake Eyes in the dress, and Shipwreck as the hippie playing the sax. Wave 3, they are going to be making Zartan as Cold Slither guitar player, which is cool, and I hope they actually make the other 3 Dreadnoughts as the Cold Slither, as the come with Cold Slither, because they're doing that. They're making all 4 figures in the classified series, so I'm hoping that Super 7 will make the will be making the all 4 of the Cold Slither figures for the O-rings. Wave 3 has got another Snake Eyes. As much as I love Snake Eyes, I'm getting tired of seeing Snake Eyes in every wave or every series or every other series. They're coming out with an Arctic Cobra Commander from the animated movie with the BET. They're making cartoon version of Wild Bill, which is okay. We haven't gotten too many Wild Bills. And then Cold Slither Zartan. So Wave 3, not bad, except for, do we really need another Snake Eyes? Yes, Snake Eyes is one of my favorite characters. Storm Shadow is one of my favorite characters. Scarlet's one of my favorite characters. But do we really need, what is there? There's what? 75 versions of Snake Eyes? Do we really need another version of Snake Eyes? I think Super 7 has this ability to make G.I. Joes like they did back in the 80s. Make them the classics, but make the ones that were never produced or were never made into the O-rings. Like, we could use a Pythona in an O-ring. Big Lob as an actual O-ring. Yes, I know there was 2 versions of Big Lob for the convention, for the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. One in an O-ring and one in the modern style. But not everybody got those. If you weren't a member of the Collectors Club, you didn't get them. I didn't get the O-ring one. I did get the modern version. But there are plenty of figures out there that have never been made that would be great to be made. You have Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, and Stalker's LRRP team. You have Wade and the other 2 guys. I think there was actually 3 that were MIA, but we got Snake Eyes, we got Storm Shadow, and we got Stalker in their Vietnam clothing, in their Vietnam jungle outfits, but we never got the rest of the team. We never got Wade Collins. We never got the other 2. So there's another one. Destro and Destro and Cobra Commander out of their uniforms, like when they were before the Cobra Civil War or after the Cobra Civil War, in the original G.I. Joe issues, where they were in disguise. You had Cobra Commander with a ponytail. So those would be cool. What else? Raven would be cool. An actual O-ring version of Raven. I know that Super 7 has done one for just the regular reaction figures, and they've done for the regular reaction figures. They've done plenty. They've done a couple. They did the Blue Snake Eyes from Fun School. They did the Red Jackal, the Red Laser, and from Action Force. They did the Red Mock Baroness from Fun School. Mind you, I would love to have those. It would be cool. Or even an American version of the Argene 7 that a lot of people would love to get. So, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that G.I. Joe wasn't just in America. There were figures all over the place. But I hope Super 7 realizes, yes, okay, having another Serpentor and another Duke is okay, but the ones that most everybody wants are the ones that were never made, or are not part of the are not in the original vintage collection. So the Fatal Fluffies, Ramar, they need to make the female slave woman from the original movie. They got Ramar, so now they need to make the slave woman. There are the Toy Master. There's another figure to make. He'd be the size of Ramar, because if you watched him in the cartoon, he was pretty big. But there's what, 5 movies? 4 movies? 5 movies. There's 5 animated movies plus 2 seasons. We're not counting the Dick cartoons. We're just counting the original Funimation ones, or whatever company did them. So you got the original. Then you got the Mastivice movie. You got the Revenge of Cobra, which is the Weather Dominator. You got the Pyramid of Darkness. You got Rise Serpentor Rise. And you got G.I. Joe the movie. So, and then you have 2 seasons of the cartoons. Plenty there. And you have 300 and some odd issues of the original G.I. Joe comic, the Real American Hero comic. 155 of the old vintage 80s and 90s comics. So there are plenty of figures to go out there and to make in the different waves, besides remaking figures we already have. We've got plenty of Dukes, we got plenty of Serpentors, we got plenty of Snake Eyeses. Like I said, the CoverGirl was cool because she is a different version of CoverGirl. She was the one from the original first movie, and that was the only time you ever saw her in that character style. Then they changed her to make her look more like the action figure. But yes, there is plenty of figures out there to make besides remaking ones that were already made by Hasbro. Super 7 has the ability to go through and go, hey, let's make these figures. These were never made. Let's make them. So, I mean, you can make the bad cop, or the cop from the Pyramid of Darkness movie that was chasing Snake Eyes and Shipwreck. Dude, and if they were going to do vehicles, they could make Shipwreck's Sand Sailor that was from the second movie. That would be cool. They could make the giant robot from the first movie that was shooting at the tanks and the stuff that were climbing up the walls. They could make the other robot from the third movie, the Pyramid of Darkness movie. Or was it Pyramid of Darkness, or was it? No, it was the second movie, Revenge of Cobra, from when they were in the Ziggurat temple. So there are plenty of figures out there. Mind you, yes, if they make more of the other ones, I will still buy them just to get them just to be part of the collection. But I would prefer if Super 7 would make figures that we've never had before in our collection. Ones that we always wanted when we were growing up in the comic, reading in the comics, going, ooh, that would be cool. All these other guys have their girlfriends. Why not Ripcord? Mind you, she was only in 2 issues, I think. But I mean, Candy, Bongo the Balloon Bear, or Candy Jones, would be cool. And you got plenty of villains. You got plenty of good guys to make figures to where you don't have to remake the same characters over and over and over again. That's more or less basically what was starting to kill the line, besides the funky colors in the 90s, was that they were remaking multiple figures of the same character, different colors, but it was the same figure. So I mean, as much as Snake Eyes is very popular, love Snake Eyes, great character, I love his growth, especially in the comics. But we do not need. This is Wave 2. Wave 3 is coming out, and it's going to have another Snake Eyes in it. So out of 3 waves, we have 2 Snake Eyeses. We don't need 2 Snake Eyeses. We didn't really need another Serpentor or another Duke. What they could have done is give this into Ramar's case and saying that you can put it on the Duke action figure. And every figure from Wave 2 was from the cartoons. There were none from the comics. So, and only 2 from the comics from Wave 1, which was Snake Eyes and Bats. Okay, mind you, that Bats is actually kind of cool, and he does look different than the other action figures Bats. But Bats are army builders. You can have multiple Bats, but you don't really need. You're only going to be using one Duke or one Serpentor. So, okay, that's it for my rant. Let's get on. Let's do Ramar. Ramar is one of those figures that was never made, that we wanted when we were kids. Ramar and the Fatal Fluffies. And too bad the Fatal Fluffy doesn't come with the little furry creature too, before they grow into the big monster. But so you got Ramar. He's considered a gladiator on the back of his file card. So I'll put his file card here. I'm sorry about my camera. For some strange reason, my camera does not like to. Adjust anymore. But there's Ramar. He is a little taller than the regular, so he's about 4 inches compared to the 3.75. And I do like that they're doing it the old style, where you got the figures up here, the file card, create your own G.I. Joe Mobile Strike Team Force. Basically, the only thing missing on the back of these is the flag points. So let's there we go. Okay, I got it mostly off. So there's that. There's the file. There's the whole card without the figure. And it doesn't look like the figure comes with any weapons. But he is. Wow, is he in there? Okay, there's Ramar. Actually stands pretty. He's actually pretty tight. He doesn't have Cobra Commander's problem, because if you guys bought Wave 1 of G.I. Joe, you notice that Cobra Commander doesn't like to stand straight. He hunches over because for some strange reason, but there's Ramar. He does have his basic articulation. The swivel arm battle grip, shoulders. His head doesn't move because of his hair, but waist, knees. So there, now Ramar is added to the original collection. I have a special case for these guys. I put my custom figures that I get from Black Major and Lady J Toys, along with these figures from Super 7 and the Hasbro Ghostbusters. They're all in one case, and they're in a special case, but they are added with the vintage collection cases. I do add these to the vintage collection. So there's Ramar, which is cool. Let's open Serpentor next. Okay, Serpentor was actually easier to open. Here's Serpentor's file card, or card back. And these I actually don't cut up. I just stick them in my photo albums where I keep all my file cards. So, but Serpentor's file card really hasn't changed from his original one. So, it's reworded and a little bit different, but it's basically Serpentor saying that he was a genetic experiment. So, with a quote from him. So, okay, I can tell you right off the bat, the cape is a lot better than the original 86 version. I do have to say that, because that 86 version would rip quickly. So there's this Serpentor. It's a little stiffer, but okay. And his I do like the snakes that are popped up. So there's that, and see, you can tell the different. You can tell how tall our Ramar is compared to the regular Joes. So there's Serpentor. And last is Duke. And I do want to say, if anybody knows, if anybody has like an extra Bats or an extra Fatal Fluffy that they're willing to sell or anything, if they're selling it, hopefully they're selling it for the same price. You can go to the store and buy it. It's just that Super 7's out of stock at the moment. They said they will be coming back in stock, but they don't know, sometime this year. And there is Duke. Oh, Duke's card, which is actually different artwork. Oh, let's mention the artwork, since this was never made into a figure. This is artwork, original artwork. And since Serpentor was never released on a card, he was released with a vehicle. He never had fancy artwork, so there's what Serpentor's artwork would have looked like on a card. And then Duke's artwork is actually different. He's not holding the gun straight down, or he doesn't have his binoculars or his backpack. So they did make new artwork for the card for Duke. And I think they made new artwork for Snake Eyes as well and Cobra Commander. So, let's put the... I'll have to test it later when I get my Joes out to see if that headband will fit on. And there's Duke. Duke with his mind control headband, which is cool. But like I said, instead of making another Duke, all they could have done was they had to do is put it in with Ramar's packaging and say it was for captured G.I. Joe or captured Duke. So I mean, there's that. So there's the 3 from Wave 2. I never did do a one on Wave 1. I may do that even though they're already opened, and I could show them to you if you want. I may actually do that later on. So there's Wave 2 for G.I. Joe, missing the Fatal Fluffy. I do want to get that, and I do want to get the bats. And as much as I know Super 7's going to remake a lot of the older figures for some strange reason instead of just making all new ones in their sets, I will still get them in the waves since they're only doing like 4 or 5 figures in each wave. I did hear that Wave 2 was supposed to have a 5th special figure, but I had not heard anything about it, and they've already released what Wave 3 looks like. So, Wave 2 looks like it's just got the 4 figures. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry for my monotone voice. But I hope you all have a good day and enjoy, and see you all later. And I will put a link down below to the Super 7 website so you can check them out. Because I think all 3 of them are still available to buy. I know the Fatal Fluffy's out of stock at the moment, and the bats are out of stock at the moment. But if you've never checked them out, check them out. They're actually not bad figures. Some of their sculpts are actually better. I like this Duke's head better than the original. At least he's not screaming or yelling like in the modern figures. So, and have nothing to compare Ramar to, but Ramar is cool. Wanted him since I was a kid. Just like I wanted the Fatal Fluffies when the animated miniseries came out too. But yeah, the sculpts aren't bad. They're cool. They're easy to bend and pose. And like I said, this is actually more of a secured cape than the original one that came in '86. And the dagger is a little bit more detailed. Even though I always thought it was supposed to be a gladius. But other than that, I'll put a link down below to Super 7 and a link down below to my Instagram so you can check out the photos, and you can check out the other G.I. Joes since I posted a photo of the new Transformer Cup/Triple T Transformer G.I. Joe figure and figures. Those action figures I've not opened up. So, but other than that, I hope you guys all have a good day and see you all later.